2-0 that quickly over Virginia Tech. We'll see if they put that to bed. I want to say number 8 seed Georgia State versus Texas A&M to have the series at 1-1 right now, reduced to basically a best of 5. Very interesting. That said, looks like we're going to pick some bands.
Sharpening my feathers.
Yeah, nothing too crazy just yet. Zaya once again. There's a reason it was banned against him. Majority of the games this season. He's very good at the champion, and when you have the ADC centric composition, you give the ADC one of his best champions. Things aren't going to go too well for you, and the Ryze also banned against him here. He was able to bully pretty hard in the lane, prevented Sherb from actually getting to roam at all, so trying to knock out as many of that is, as long as Sherb is on a defensive thing that he's able to roam on at some point, he's still going to have an impact.
I like the Lulu ban out. I mean, it was instrumental for Platoon to win, but on the blue side, it's so obvious they want to pick Tristana first that they're just going to, especially with Zaya ban, I would be shocked if it's not Tristana locking. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so they don't want Lulu going over in the first rotation there. No surprise, it is going to be Azir then. Picked up out and away with Azir. Didn't convince me. Now that's interesting.
Okay.
That is interesting. Sejuani taken away today. BTM will have to play something new.
And this means PAX needs to play something aggressive. Because bot lane, I would not put my faith in the Ryerson bot lane now to beat out on the Tristana pick. And you're already seeing the gank playing something aggressive, something new, something fresh has to come out here. For some reason, my mind's going to Rumble, but I guess I would be the most shocked in the world to see that one come out. But, oh boy, you are asking for a world of trouble, and they're going to ask for it.
Yeah, Twitch has been banned against Dead all series long. May not have been last game because they first prioritized the Tristana, but otherwise, Twitch and Vayne have been taken out and away from this guy. They did not want to see him on it. Now they have to see him on it, or potentially not see him, as stealthy as that champion is. We'll see what the other bans come out, because there are still some question marks on the side of what the jungle is going to be now out of BTM. They ban out the Kazakhs. They take that one away for him.
They just want to take out anything aggressive that would prevent the Ryerson squad from doing anything, especially, once again, looking at this top lane. With the Twitch pick, it's definitely going to be a much more passive lane. The thing with Twitch and lane is it's one of the lowest damage ADCs you could have off the start of the match. Definitely press the attack, getting buffed as of late does help him quite a bit, and also the buff on patch 8.5 helps out as well. As now we do see the Gnar ban away. Ryerson's, once again, they need something in this top side.
Very much so. The target seemed to be jungle coming out from Ryerson, and topside coming out now from Waterloo with the Gnar ban away. Now, obviously, that's the only top laner they did ban. It was jungle, mid, and support elsewhere. But with the Gangplank, I feel like Shauna has just been so confident on this champion that he doesn't really need to worry. He's not going to be too flustered by whatever PAX comes in to bring in that top lane. On the other side of things, Ryerson maybe tried to find something that'll stick. They tried banning out AD, didn't work for him. They tried banning out mid, didn't work for him. They tried banning out jungle now. We'll see if that works for him. It is Karma taken away in that mid lane.
For Ryerson, though, Camille is still on the board. Camille plus Sejuani in itself is an incredibly strong duo because of the stick potential you have and because of the auto attacks applying Sejuani's Frost passive. I mean, if you lock down Gangplank, he's not going to get away. And if you want something that's going to keep Tristana locked down to a particular spot, the Camille will get it done 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Well, we'll see.
And now watch me be proven wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of whether or not PAX is comfortable enough on it. The Swain train, punch your tickets, ladies and gentlemen, all aboard. We are departing the station.
I honestly haven't been a huge fan of new Swain. It definitely helps out that they finally have some real forms of engage. They have some real forms of frontline, and they're really building around this late game potential with the Azir and with the Twitch. But the issue is the same thing they've been struggling with in games 2, 3, and probably now 4. What gets you to that late game? I mean, yeah, Sejuani's going to be a much better ganker, going to be able to put so much more pressure out than the Olaf in the early game. Swain in the top lane should be having a positive matchup versus the Gangplank. He does well as a top lane bully, but I don't know if it's realistically going to be enough. But this is the time where PAX can certainly sell me on the pick.
Well, Warwick the jungle, all things considered for BTM as well. We kind of glossed over that because we got so excited on Camille and Swain and everything. excited to see how Warwick is going to be played out now against the Sejuani BTM. You have to wonder if that's not his fifth choice behind Skarner, Zach, Kha'Zix, and Sejuani. So, and Jax, so maybe sixth potential choice. Either way, it's a lot to consider here.
Mm-hmm.
The ban is very jungle heavy and does go now in favor for the side of Ryerson. We'll see how heavily it favors them, as they did opt for that early and then levy 2 jungle bans. Is this the strategy that's going to get them back into the series? Because right now they're playing from the back foot. If they lose this game, they're out.
They really are hoping that it's going to be, and there's certainly a lot of potential, but this match now is top lane. If Ryerson is not able to win out this top lane, there is very literally nothing left. Because Karma into Azir, unless this is an absolutely horribly misplayed mid lane, should 100% go in favor for the Karma. Top lane, yeah, should be going in favor of the Swain. Bot lane, Tristana plus Janna into a Twitch plus Taric. Pre-6, that is Tristana, Janna all the way home.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what they can make with the roams and the potential for just holding out that lane besides just the consistent laners. We'll see how well away today, how well BTM want to come in and make some differences there. We also have the Karma teleport on board. I got to put a lot on Ninja Hog here. The ability to peel from this player has been good thus far. Taric is sort of a beast of a different color there, right? Especially when it comes down to protecting a Twitch. Now, you have some good protection abilities coming out of Sejuani, too. I like this pick from Taric because it frees up Sejuani to be an engage tool, which is something that Ryerson desperately lacked last time around. We'll see if that's going to be enough to really tilt the scales in their favor, because it can be really hard to engage into a Janna, into a Karma who can just run away from you, a Tristana that can run away from you, a Gangplank that can slow you down, and a Warwick who, what's the point? So...
Yeah, also on top of that, is the Twitch plus Taric combination. It doesn't have the strongest laning phase in the world, but if you can get it a lead, it will never lose that lead as long as you don't horribly misposition, because you can engage nearly anywhere on the map. When you're playing Taric Twitch, whenever you put your Bastion, your W on the Twitch, all of the abilities you cast are invisible as long as Twitch are invisible. That means your ultimate's invisible. That means your E is invisible. So you can have Twitch go in submarine mode, get the stun down onto the Tristana, onto the Janna, and just nuke him out before they even get back up. But of course, that then gives you the other side of that coin, which is you need to be big enough to get that done. Otherwise, your Twitch is now in the middle of the enemies with absolutely no way out.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a matter of execution and coming down to just how well they play that one out and about. We'll get to see it firsthand here before too long, and what kind of other chaos they can create through the Swain, through the Azir, through the Sejuani, because it is not just a bot lane race, despite the fact that the later it goes, the better the University of Waterloo are going to feel about this game. Tristana firmly in their pocket this time, ready to make the plays that they need. Has been first pick throughout, has been very successful, except for the last game. Tristana did not win. Was the Xayah coming out the superior, Eno coming out perhaps the superior player. Definitely the strongest member of the team today. So, going to be interesting to see if he can help bring this game home for the remaining members of his team. It is Waterloo on the blue side, Ryerson on the red. That means for Waterloo, Shauner in the top lane, BTM in the jungle, Sherb in the mid lane, Eno, the ADC, who we just can't get enough of today, and Platoon on support over for the side of Ryerson. Pax in the top, away today jungling. Wazir on the Azir in the mid lane, and Dead 420 and Ninja Hog are going to be rounding that out for the bot side.
Yeah, there is a lot that needs to go right here for the Ryerson squad if they even want to force a game number 5, but thankfully they built a composition where if one thing goes right, the rest of it does tend to fall into place. And I'm also kind of interested now what kind of interactions we can get with the Swain, because you also have the long-range stuns of Away today. You have the submarine taunts. You have the submarine stuns out of both Dead and Ninja. If they land one piece of CC on Eno, it may never stop.
They can definitely start that train and just keep on pushing through with it. So that is the big if, though. Tristana has the rocket jump. There's enough peel from Janna, especially in a post-6 game, to make that a relatively safe champion, all things considered. So we'll see how well Platoon can make that one happen, because it's a team effort for stunning up this Tristana, meaning it has to be a team effort for defending this Tristana coming out of the side of Waterloo. We'll see how they can make it happen. I'm interested to see this mid lane. You talked about it going all over for Karma. Wazir, though, has been very strong throughout the consistency of this series. I'm wondering if he's not going to be able to surprise us in any capacity.
I mean, there's always a potential. You can always look for some sort of outplay. The large thing being, though, just the sheer power from Karma to shove out a wave, Mantra Q, and that backline is just non-existent. Add on top of that minion dematerializer, and sure, there may be some good trades coming out for Wazir, but as long as Sherb is staying safe in lane, he will never not have the pushing advantage. And that means that that's more room for BTM to find plays around the map that keeps Wazir from impacting the rest of the game, and that's just one less resource Dead is going to have, one less resource Patch is going to have to actually carry out through this mid game. And the exact way that Waterloo won was holding that mid lane down, not letting him do anything, and then just rotating around everyone else. And it already is looking like the same sort of setup, but definitely we're not there yet. So still,
well, so now the question is,
execution yet to be seen.
Gotta have the faith and the hope. It's going to be interesting. Now the question is, how can BTM play around this Warwick pick? What can he do with this Sejuani out of his hands, taken away by Away today, so he did not get to play this one. Interesting to see, because it's a little bit harder. The Warwick engage is very potent when you pull it off, but it's not as potentially easy as just the point-click make it happen of the Sejuani. So, early Drake potential coming out from this Warwick. He wants to find that Ocean. Not going to wait around for 10 minutes on this time. That is one of the hallmarks of that champion, is his ability to take that one out before anyone even knows what's happening.
Yeah. Not even that, it's also the shoving mid wave and shoving ball lane. Even if Away today was to go and check that pit, he would be immediately just either shoved out or killed. There's no way your ball lane's getting to you, there's no way your mid lane's getting to you at that point.
Ooh, boy. Ninja Hog actually taking some harass under the own tower. Eno not messing around. Oh boy, and he calls a little bit more than that as he takes away the dragons, and no chance. And now BTM might be first blood here. Eno gonna try to hold that one out. It's not even worth flashing, my guy. Just give up the first blood. You took the dragon away. You were cheeky about it, but Lord, that was dangerous towards the end. And the roam there, all three members dead. I'm sorry, Eno, Platoon, and Sherb were just ready to collapse at the right moment. So that gives a very unnecessary first blood over to Sherb. He's going to feel great about that. And you have to question, is it worth the Mountain Drake?
It wasn't even, it was the Ocean Drake, which certainly.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Ocean, of course, yeah.
You remembered out in lane, Ocean's probably one of the best dragons to have in the laning phase, but no, you don't want to give away your life there. When you have the shoving lanes like that, if you're going to go for a steal, it's got to be a hit and run operation. You can't stick around trying to cement the kill, because your mid lane can't rotate, your bot lane can't rotate. And you know, even if you go 1-for-1, you're just going to be giving the kill over anyway, so.
Right, and then you have to start to worry, is the kill on a jungler more important than the kill that we just gave over to the mid laner? The answer is usually no in that capacity, so top to bottom, perhaps not the best trade, but a good steal all the same, good mechanical play, and certainly a lot to capitalize against the early advantage that this Warwick provides. So with a Mountain Drake coming up next, that'll be on live around 10 minutes or so, maybe a little bit sooner. Didn't actually have my eye on the clock too well there, but regardless, gonna be putting the question on, now what does this Warwick do? What does he have to boast for himself? You have a gauge going on in the bot lane, though. Eno in some trouble, has to jump out of that one with the flash. Dead, though, going to be in a little bit of trouble, too, as Sherb has roamed firmly down. That said, there is no pinch potential, so if they can get over with the blast going or potentially just run straight out, they're in really good shape here as they do make it now to Wazir on the Azir Away today as well, keeping them all pretty safe. Not going to worry too much about that one. So good engage, burned both summoners out of Eno there, but by the end of it, they had to run for themselves and burn both of their own summoners, so how much can you really call worth?
That's also going to depend on Away stage. He's actually going to be paying attention to the bots of the map, because if he does, that lack of flash for Eno is going to mean a lot. It's going to be a lot more safety for Dead 420, and then that also revolves on whether or not he can stay out of vision, but currently is still pretty deep in enemy backline. Not sure if they're really going to die for this one, as this one could go horribly wrong.
Yeah, that would be a pretty big gamble. They want to take it. They know there's no flash. It's only the rocket jump. They come in. Ninja Hog is right there. Rocket jump is useless but a kill will be taken all the same. Are you kidding me? No, he has to flash for it. Platoon says, I'm going to worry about it. Dead, though, says, thank you for the donation to the Bank of Twitch. I'm going to put that one right in my back pocket and be more than happy. 1 kill going over to the AD, 1 kill going over to the jungle. They'll take it. There was only 1 given to the enemy support now for the side of Ryerson. So they'll feel decent about that one, but can't overstay. Lay down the vision, get on out, and return all things equal in lane. Return, you talked to me about this being the Tristana Jana show pre-6. We're getting to a point now. Twitch up the CS, up the kill. He's got to be feeling pretty righteous in this lane right now.
Yeah, he's going to be feeling incredibly good, especially because he's also winning that CS game. Remember, Eno is the only member on the Waterloo team. Nobody else is on this team, and Eno is not in the lead.
You're right, Eno
Therefore, Waterloo is not in the lead.
Sound logic and reasoning. They might disagree with you, but I certainly don't. We're going to see how Ryerson can capitalize on this one, because now we have the stealth twitch. It's the stun through the rocket jump, but if you can just keep pushing that Tristana back off the minions time and time again, that's always going to feel like the advantage is there, and the pushing power is happening right before your eyes. Also, look at this now. We have a way today, potentially jungling, counter-jungling on BTM.
Yeah, I mean, now he does get a little bit more priority with that, because it's all about the lane shoving, balling going back in advantage. Eno knows that if he dies one more time in that lane, if he loses that much more CS off the wave, it's game over. Because at that point, the Twitch is able to pick up his very early items there. Runon's Hurricane would definitely help out the pushing game, but there's the submarine.
Ooh, stun coming out yet again, just keeping that rocket jump for strictly defensive purposes. I want to take a quick second while we have a breather to praise Away today. The counter-jungling ability there to take away the red. He dropped 2 wards, got away out over the dragon wall without stepping on the pink ward, the control ward rather, that he knew was in that Tribe Rush. Really clean play coming out from him on this Sejuani, so I just wanted to give a shout out to that guy and the way he's playing it. That said, we're going to see if he can make this gank happen. The stun is there. Does he go further? I guess the answer is no.
That's just Tristana doing Tristana things. You always have to find some way to account for that rocket jump away, but I mean, still, this is a fairly well executed early game from Ryerson, especially that bot lane 4 dive they did before. That was just a completely different team than we saw at the end of last game. End of last game, I was hitting on them for being way too passive, not taking enough risks.
Oh boy, this is a big risk, as look at that, BTM is in there, the suppress is down, and dead as can be. Ninja Hog not getting out of this one alive either, not going to try. Eno does take that one out for a double kill. So just like that, BTM flips everything back on its head and puts the advantage firmly back into the hands of Eno.
So perfectly in time to be cast cursed.
Yeah.
A very unfortunate play, but I was gonna say, before they were too scared to make any plays happen. Now they saw the play on the bot side, they went for it. Unfortunately, they just saw another play on the bot side and they went for it, and there was a war ring.
Yeah, and their wards were just not good enough, so that means that the Dragon taken out with no contest. Mountain Drake going over to the side of Waterloo. They're going to be pretty happy with that takeaway.
Eno has a gold lead. The team basically has a lead.
Yep, he's going to be feeling pretty good about that one. 3,300 gold to 3,300 between the 2 ADs, so pretty consistent there, actually. But the capacity of which this Tristana is going to be able to play out now is going to be able to pull back that CS lead pretty quickly here with the kill that he was able to make happen. He's going to be able to knock down towers insanely fast with this Mountain Drake by the time he really gets that Zeal item completed, so being that much closer to it has to feel good for Eno and has to feel like a breath of fresh air, because things were getting a little bit smothering. Ryerson doing a good job to keep the pressure up beforehand. We'll see if they try now afterwards or if they're going to get skittish.
Now look at this top lane too. Attacks on the Swain pickup. It's not doing the best in the world. It's still not something that's punishing Gangplank very effectively.
No.
So I need to see something come out of doing the team fight. Otherwise, once again, it feels like that's just a spot that can be better spent. Instead, if Pack stays even going on through, he could just be an unkillable object for Eno, which in itself would be useful.
that looks to be the route to me that he's trying to take here, because you've got the Catalyst and Aeons there at the beginning, just to say, I'm going to play the scaling Swain game here. He's staying consistent in CS. There's actually never been more than 10 CS between these two top laners throughout this entire game. It's been very, very...
They're dead even right now.
Yeah, I know it, and I expect it to stay that way. They're not missing a CS in lane, they're not giving up things for free, and they're just pushing back with a nice enough play between the two of them. So, that said, I feel like the later it goes, Swain's going to feel pretty good about this. The problem is Shauna can get assists at any given time just through his cannon barrage, so he can stack this very small latent ability. This is bad potentially. Look at the amount of members here coming out from Ryerson. They want to shove out. Eno's in some trouble, and Jed picks up the kill. Platoon definitely going to fall as well, and the cannon barrage not doing a lot to slow him down. So BTM was there. He was ready for the counter gank. He was not ready for the double up on the counter gank, and sure, a little too late to the party, might try to just do something daring, but I doubt it.
Confident, aggressive rotations. That is the name of the game right now. In Ryerson, they're finally coming back. They're finally making the plays on their own terms. And I swear, this is the first time I've seen Wazir rotate before 20 minutes this entire game. And that is a very welcome change, especially with how the last few games are going. And certainly, it's just a band-aid fix right now. It's not being in the lead, but this is just delaying out that game even further. And once again, they have the Azir, they have the Twitch, they want to hit that 50-minute mark.
I think so. All in all, they definitely just want to wait it out. Now, you can't just consider that a free win if you get that far, because it is a Tristana, and even more so, it's Eno on a Tristana, so it's a double whammy there of danger in the late game. Have to be careful, especially with the Karma and Janna there, to be able to just make that so much more powerful of a pick. Now, it's a second Ocean Drake on the docket here. We'll see if they can pick that one up, because if they want to get into a late game, 2 Ocean Drakes is a great way to help them start if you are the side of Ryerson. There's some objectives to take beforehand. We've not seen anyone get too squirrely around the Rift Herald. Nobody likes to do that, and I was hoping that maybe with BTM on the Warwick, that could be something that we might catch a little bit closer of. But
it's still the story of 2 top laners who don't really want to fight.
Yeah.
And until that changes, that Herald is not going anywhere.
No, at the point that we are in this game, it feels like we only get action around dragons and ganks. And so, no ganks coming out as the junglers are back to hard farming status. The mid laners as well don't want to risk anything. Sherb's teleport down, and Zir has to pace this one out and continue rolling his CS lead in the mid lane. So, all things considered, I would expect we're headed towards a bit of a quieter patch here in the game. Bit of a little breather for these guys.
Just a little bit more safety. No objectives have been traded back or forth just yet. Even like with that balling play getting both the ADC and the support, not a single chip of damage coming off that tower.
Oh boy, BTM with a flash in, Wazir with the flash out. The ultimate not getting BTM off, and can he shred him before the tower? No. That will be BTM getting out very successfully. Flash Warwick ultimate right there, ready to go. Does allow the bot lane to get a little aggressive. They know where he is. They're not worried, but I'd be worried if I were this mid lane tower. It didn't aggro Warwick, so you have to be careful. It will get him low, but away today. How far do you want to push this, my guy? He says in. He flashes for it. He's going to have to get right back out, though. That's really, really risky, and it didn't pay off. BTM finds the second kill. Ouch. Yeah, this is not going well. The cannon barrage coming in for sure. Dead finds the kill actually onto Annoy. The invulnerability means Ninja Hawk takes it out and away. And we're back to 6-6. The kills stay so even. Sherb says I have a thing or two to say about that, and Ninja Hawk will take a miracle to get out of this one. Maybe just a good stun. There's nothing necessarily miraculous about that. But I think BTM's got this one out and away. Does find it. And the damage from the minions of the tower not enough to follow it through.
And every single step now that Ryerson takes forward, they take 1 step back, if not 2 as well. And that was actually a really well played gank there from BTM, because it timed his E so perfectly that it canceled out the shove back from Emperor's Divide, unable to get shuffled around, able to find the kill as well. So, and then the little cherry on top of that for me was away today. You know that man just wanted a kill. You saw the help requested pings on the mid lane. There's a little bit of tilt going around, and with this series taking as long as it has, I am not the least bit shocked.
Yeah, that's great IRL. He tried it once in the beginning of this game. It's been the flavor of the game for him throughout, and no surprises as it maintains the position. Now, Dead flashing a good flash to get away, and oh no, Eno! That is not what you want. That's really bad for the side of Waterloo to give that kill up. BTM can't do anything. The Ocean Drake is taken by the wayside as it all happens. So just as you think that Ryerson is getting themselves in trouble, they pull back another cheeky move to just keep the game going really well. It was an outplay by Dead. That's all I can say is that Eno wanted to get in, Bobby had it, and then Dead and Ninja just played it so well to make sure that they were not threatened by that Tristana. The team took the Dragon out in the way, and this should be the bot lane tower as well coming to boot.
Eno is playing extremely disrespectfully at this point, not even considering the danger that Dead or Ninja can pose to him, and that's still gonna hurt him. Like, he's not... The score resets and the gold resets after every game. You don't just keep the massive lead from every match. You have to build it up once more, and this match, we will not be seeing the same Eno we saw in games 1, 2, and 3.
No, already at a very big death deficit, so... I do want to touch on this a little bit. Every time it looks like Ryerson wants to ban somebody out, that player just starts popping off. So they stop banning out Eno, and Eno's doing fine. Now they're banning out BTM in this game. They forced him onto... They took 6 jungle picks away, if you count picking away the Sejuani early on. That's 6 picks then, or it's rather the 6th pick that BTM had to take away. It's the Warwick. He doesn't seem to be bothered in the slightest.
So what I'm gathering is just don't ban anyone.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, just AFK 5 ban.
Single ban.
Yep, and then, well, no, that's actually probably not good. The Xayah ban was a good call. Yeah, you want that one out. The, who else did they ban? Maybe the Scion? I think they keep taking that one away. Shauner on that Gangplank's been effective, but I'd hate to see him on that Scion if that's such a better champion for him, because the way he's played Gangplank has been incredibly relevant to this series.
We're also finally getting the lane rotation out of the side of Ryerson. They want to keep this game moving along. Or at least, with a more likely version, is that they just want to stall out this push coming on across. More towers would definitely help the squad of... Ooh, yeah, actually...
Yeah, it's the potential gank coming out. The submarine town away today wants to find it, but they just don't have the energy to find Platoon just yet. They say, you know what, let's stop, reconsider this, and back right off. So it looks like pressure being levied now by the side of Waterloo onto the mid lane. BTM, potential for the gank. It's read out like a book by Wazir, and he is away from that before it gets dangerous. Now Pax roaming up into this mid lane. We'll see if he can make anything happen here. I doubt he's going to try to do anything besides help pressure this tower. Does give Gangplank a lot of agency in this bot lane, but he's just going to back as he knows the shove is already building up. So it's a weird game of waves right now returned, but it seems to be Ryerson playing it pretty decently.
As long as the Ryerson squad just keeps these towers alive, or just keeps trading out farm for fun, they're going to be fine, but that's a root.
Oh boy, Wazir in some trouble there. He does actually get the nice knockback flash out of that one. Doesn't dodge it, sure. With the shot from downtown, finds the 3-pointer on that Karma at the very edge of that hitbox, and does it well. And that's got to feel really bad for Wazir, as I'm sure this is breaking a lot of the momentum that they had built up. They want to find this bot lane tower. No one's there to defend the mid lane tower. Top lane tower they want to find. No one's there to defend mid. That's a free tower advantage now going over to the side of one.
Yeah, that's a pretty sizable lead going right on over there. It's certainly not uncontested just yet. It's still pressure being applied in the top side, pressure being applied in the bottom side. And this is still the price you pay for picking Azir into something like that, or picking Azir just so early on. He doesn't auto lanes anymore.
Yeah, no, not going to be too clean there, so got to be respectful of it. We talked about Karma, you know, I thought unbanning it would be fine, but sure, must have just been getting warmed up in that first game on Karma, because right now he feels so much better on it. And we'll see if they can really start to turn the screws to tighten out this win before it gets too late, because again, this is where they were at 20 minutes last time. And you're saying Waterloo really needed to start turning up the heat. Here now, what we've seen last time, all that potential is right there. 13 more minutes and they could be on their way to the 3-1 victory. They could be just putting on the finishing touches of moving on into the semifinals. But Ryerson, all they want to do is hold this out. If they can scale it, if they can hold on, Their team is such a threat, and what they have going on this game that they didn't last time is kills on dead.
Yeah, most certainly, and they just want to keep this game going, because at some point, Twitch will hit that late game form where he looks at the enemy team and just goes, you are all dead. And it's just that hope of that one fight, because once again, their core vision is just to keep Inoue out of this game, and that then brings a very good question of, okay, what do Waterloo do if Inoue is not a Fed member of the team? Can they still operate? Do they just fall apart? Once again, we haven't seen one game on this guy where they've won where he was not incredibly fed, so we still need to see that sort of adaptation, and even getting ready for the semifinals, that's going to be necessary.
Yeah,
to be able to play those different styles, to be able to play with one member is not down, because I'll break it to you, Ino is not the best ADC in all of League of Legends. He's pretty damn good.
Whoa, hang on now.
You are going to get people who will sometimes be drought, and you need to be flexible with your game plan.
Absolutely. Well, I am receiving word that Ottawa put on the finishing touches to 3-1 over Carnegie Mellon, so the winner of this game is going to have to go up against the University of Ottawa, and I feel like it's going to be the biggest challenge they've faced yet. So we'll see if they're even ready for that, how well they can pull out from this one, because they'll have 2 weeks to prepare. But both teams, I gotta say, after what I'm seeing here in this slow grinding gameplay that they're playing, where 33 minutes feels like a fast game to us, it's a little nerve-wracking for the semifinals.
Oh yeah, 70, 90 minutes to dream, semifinals. Want to go all the way. Certainly the removal of the Hand of Baron plus the Banner Command buff does hurt the game time just a little bit.
Yeah, certainly the case. Necessary, though. As fun as that meta was, I mean, it's not sustainable, so...
I had a blast.
You know what? I did too.
I just, like, took out towers by pressing a few buttons. Speaking of taking out towers, this is just going to be a good rotation coming out from the side of Ryerson. They're going to get this uncontested.
Oh, wait, they're doing a really good job there. Now, it will mean the Ocean Drake is given over without contest in the bottom half of the map. BTM will take that one. So Triple Ocean Dream is dead for the side of Ryerson. Doubles, nothing to sneeze at because they already have a very strong presence with that. It's another Mountain Drake on the board before this one, so we'll see. We'll see if they can take that one out come time, because I guarantee you this game is lasting that long, as Ryerson are not willing to make the moves around Baron, around topside to really expedite this game. They just want to keep scaling, and Waterloo have not been able to find the foothold just because of that top lane. Just because Shawner versus back to Swain is a pretty good answer to at least keeping this Gangplank busy enough to have to stay in lane.
And that's the weird equilibrium you have to play around, because they need something. That's like the entirety of this team. They're all existing right now, but they don't have enough to tilt the scales back in their favor and to actually come out with the W here. Something's got to eventually change, and obviously that will be the scaling, that will be Twitch making his way on through, and Wazir is a little bit behind in the mid lane for sure, but is still looking for that scaling game. Fortunately, we are still quite a ways off a full item Wazir, and all that time, you know, still going to be scaling up, but the ones you really got to watch right now are Sherb and BTM, because they are just on a tear.
Absolutely. You have to just keep your vision down around this Baron, because that is the option for the side of Waterloo here to just crack the game right back open. They've got the 2k gold advantage. It means less and less and less as the game continues to go on here. The kills, the picks, though, could mean all the more. If they can get this one down, the invulnerability is there for a way today, but he's so low, gets out anyway. Are you kidding me? And now the teleport coming down. Here wants to find the well, teleport is canceled. Swain did come through, so that is the nice split push advantage coming out from Shawner. But I would say now that Ryerson has to make something happen here. They can't just let this go for free, or they will lose their bot lane tower.
Now they're trying to push that forward. Baron is on the board, but once again, without anyone really low HP, except for Eno, there's not too much they can do about it. They might be able to press for a kill here, but even that is incredibly risky.
Yeah, they have to be careful. So
speaking of which,
occasional nice play, but dead trying to get in on the Eno doesn't matter. Platoon made sure of that one, and now a nice hole in the hide of Ryerson. So Waterloo will be able to continue the pressure where they want it, and this should certainly mean top lane priority, which by extension means Baron priority in the coming minutes. And at 26 minutes on the clock, could not be better timing for this competition.
Now they're about to hit their strides extremely hard. Eno sitting on the 1.4K, mid lane sitting on the 1K, and they're already on the Baron. So once again, we know that this team's record with the Baron, and it is not pretty.
No, away today. Already have to keep the smite steal once in this game. Can he get it a second time? No, BTM finds it. And with the kills coming out on the Swain, that's bad news from the side of Ryerson. Away today going to be the next one to fall. So losing the Baron and then 2 members. This spells disaster for the team that is already down 2 games in the series. Could potentially go out here if this does not go their way and they cannot pull it back to turtle out this Baron. BTM has been absolutely slaughtering through the ranks of Ryerson on this pick, and it's facilitated so much. Sure, with the help of Eno taking away the mid lane tower, the next one likely going to fall uncontested. Who can hold it? It's certainly not Tarek. Ninja Hawk down. That's going to be the inhibitor falling as well, and this is vaguely reminiscent of the last game where Waterloo found this exact same advantage and turned it into the W.
Here. There's still quite a bit of work to do before this one is in the bag, but those deaths around the Baron pit just made an already difficult base hold even harder, and when you don't have dead alive, you cannot send that many members into the seal. You gotta, if you're gonna go for the skill, just throw away, and if he dies, he dies. Save the base for the rest, but now with the inhibitor down, that is a huge foothold for the side. For the rest of the side of this Waterloo squad to just find their way in, and death cap completed onto Sherb. More items completed onto just every single member of this Ryerson squad, and yeah, you are starting to feel that gold lead in. Karma, she's not falling off just yet, and 3 items completed also onto, you know, they're ready to win this game.
This is bad news bears for the side of Ryerson that looked so strong throughout several points of this series. The first game going decidedly their way. The second game, you know, really only feeling like just a sour turn of events kept them out of it. They were very close to being 2-0 up in this series. Now they are fighting for their very lives, 28 minutes on the board. Now this game is far from over, but the favor is so intensely in the hands of Waterloo. How do they stop these towers from going down? How do they stop their inhibitor from being the next one to fall? Baron is really only halfway gone. It's a little bit more than that expired, but it's going to be definitely enough to have enough waves to take out this top lane inhibitor.
They've got to find the miracle play right here, right now. They cannot wait any longer. The rest of the base is going to fall by the wayside. Acceptable losses are already out the window. You need the big play.
I think you have it potentially too. They're dead, and Ninja can still do the submarine. The potential is there, but they have to act fast. They know it. Here comes away today. It catches through, but look at that. Eno is already out with the rocket jump. They can't find it, so it's just a good bit of damage on Shauner. But the cannon barrage is slowing everything that Ryerson is going to try. Waterloo is just eating it right back, and so it's not going to be worried. Axe now in some trouble. Away today, taking the chip as well. And Ryerson's going to reset with the next minion wave. Baron's almost expired, so this is their last crack at it.
Doesn't have this Shiva Shuffle. He's way in the back line, though.
Yeah, and look at that. Their Nexus turrets are going to be taking a beating, too. They're coming in. Ninja Hawk wants it, but the rest of Ryerson were not ready to follow in, and now BTM is having a field day. Eno takes the first kill. Surely not going to be the last, and Luzier is in some trouble. He does get back to base okay, but away today and dead. You cannot say the same for them, and look at it. It's the quadra kill. The GGs are coming down. The minions from the mid lane were there, and it is Ryerson unable to defend 3 games in a row. Come out from Waterloo, and they tear through it 30 minutes this time, faster and faster and faster. They completely take the series.
Yeah, and that was the most unfortunate series there for the side of Ryerson. Is they clawed, they grasped, it looked like at the start of the game they knew how to bring this one back, but in the end it was just a little bit too little, too late. And we will be seeing Waterloo now moving on towards those semifinal matches against who once more? Was that it's not Manitoba, that is the wrong conference.
No, it'll be Ottawa.
Ottawa, yes. I believe that's actually the rematch. Let me double check.
Did we see that? Yeah, let's double check that.
Yes, that is the rematch.
Yeah, Ottawa handed out the only loss to the side of Waterloo that they saw thus far. I don't know whether that was 2-0 or 2-1. But I would not. Oh, it was 2-0. Okay, I would not be surprised with the just absolute defensive ability that University of Waterloo showed throughout the series, and their adaptive prowess, because they were definitely the better adaptive team today than Ryerson, just in their picks and bans. I wouldn't be surprised to see this go a little bit different. You look at the seeding. Ryerson was seed number 3. Ottawa was seed number 2. Waterloo didn't care. They're seed number 6. They didn't care today. They probably won't care next week. We'll see how it goes as they do move on to the semifinals. We want to extend the warmest of GGs to our friends at Ryerson. Congratulations for making it this far. Quarterfinals is a huge achievement, and we're sad to see you go. But we do have to congratulate Waterloo on a hard-fought series victory today. Man, 30 minutes, again, it felt fast compared to what we had throughout the rest of this series. But
that was a short game compared to the rest of what we have been going through today. But, I mean, hell, it was worth every minute. Once we got the games working, of course.
Oh, yeah, of course. So the first, we won't talk about that first game. All things considered, though, I am glad that this series was as competitive as it was. I feel like it's a great representation of just, how chaotic the East region is. And so I'm happy we got to see a little bit of that unfold before our screens, because there's so much action going on and it's all scheduled at the same time that finding these little windows into each region is going to be so much harder continually scheduling the right way. So all in all, I want to extend another GG to both these guys, the Ryerson Rams, the Waterloo Warriors. It was a Canadian struggle, and it was Waterloo coming out 3-1 the victor, just more decisive each time. And so with that, they will move on to play the University of Ottawa, who as well today won in a 3-1 against Carnegie Mellon University. We want to wish them the best of luck in that series coming in 2 weeks. That is going to be March 24th, 3 p.m. That's the default time. I believe that's 3 p.m. Eastern. The default time on that one. We'll see whether or not
we should be streaming all of them. I remember we had. We'll get you guys around with the stream times. We're trying to stream all of them because theoretically there should be 8 semifinals between the 4 different brackets.
Yep. Yes.
Which would be an 8 slot. So fingers crossed for getting all.
We want it all, and we want you to get it all.
All of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see that. We will be back tomorrow with University of Toronto versus New York University. But today we get to wet our jaws a little bit with some Timo Cup action coming up as well. That'll be starting pretty much right after we finish here. So don't go anywhere if you didn't get your fill of League of Legends. That's going to be back to the best of 3. So we have a maximum potential of 7 games today. And sometimes it just still doesn't feel like enough League of Legends.
I don't know. I think I could take a quick break, play some
Respectfully disagree.
Something, but
sure, yeah, give you a voice a rest, and we'll be back at it tomorrow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kyle Corvus Crow. That is Stephen Returned Johnson, and I want to give a huge thank you to him for holding down the color with me today. Really do appreciate this cast. Want to give a couple quick plugs to some CSL stuff. Get involved with us. ! Discord in the chat. ! North bracket. ! South bracket. ! East bracket. And lastly, ! West bracket to stay involved with everything that is happening. Also for the Peach Belt, ! PCB bracket. Want to give a shout out to Twitch. Thank them for all of their continued help, love, and support. We can't get enough of it. They just keep pumping it out for us. Follow them on their social medias, twitter.com/Twitch. Facebook.com/Twitch. Follow the CSL on our social medias. Facebook.com/C-Star-League, Twitter.com/C-Star-League, Twitter.com/CSL-LOL. You can also find us at LOL_returned and at Corvus Kovacs on Twitter. Give us some feedback. Let us know how the cast went. And if you want to hear anything done differently or get some feedback to offer us, we are always looking forward to it. But that's going to do it for us. In the meantime, we will have believe it is Magical and S-Ruff coming back at you with a little bit more League of Legends action today. But we are signing off. Want to thank you for sticking around, ladies and gentlemen. Have a great rest of your weekend.
I can have the record, baby, baby. I can have the record, I can have the record, baby. Rolling at the record high, rockin' and rollin', rollin' and rockin', rockin' and rollin', rollin' and rockin', rockin' and rollin'.